What's going on, everybody? It's Carmine from Barmine Tech, and today we're going to be talking about the JetKVM. Now, first off, before we get into this video, I just want to apologize for no video last week. I got caught up finishing up schoolwork, and it absolutely drowned me all week. I had to finish up writing my thesis paper, and it pretty much took me way longer than I expected. And that's why I ended up having no video last week, because unfortunately I had to get that done. The good news is that school is all over. I am done with all that work, and I actually go up this weekend to graduate. So when you guys are seeing this video, I'll actually be heading up to my school to go graduate. But enough talk about that. Let's get into talking about the JetKVM. So if you're not familiar, this is the JetKVM. It's a IP KVM that you can plug into your network, and it pretty much gives you keyboard and mouse access, as long as video, to any sort of machine that it can connect to. So typically this is going to be used with servers and other similar networking devices, because they're going to be running headless. So you're not going to have a monitor, a keyboard, and everything else on it. And what this device is going to do is to allow you to connect to it and manage it bare bones across the network. So if you're trying to troubleshoot an issue and you need direct access to the BIOS, this is going to solve that problem. If you need to maybe flash an OS onto it, you could do that with this. If you need to troubleshoot a connection and you need an SSH connection in, or you need to get, a basic connection across, let's say that the web UI Proxmox isn't responding, you need to connect into your Proxmox server to get to the terminal. This is exactly what you could use to do so without having to connect monitors, keyboards, and everything else. This product, the JetKVM, is similar to how the idea of the PiKVM works, except you don't need to build it, or you don't need to buy one that's about $400 to $500, I believe, in price now. The JetKVM does sit at $69, and we're going to go over this more in detail when I get to their site, but this is just a brief overview of it. I did work with this product a little bit, and it does seem like a very nice tool. I haven't done extensive testing yet with it, but I already find that the use of this is much easier than it was with my PiKVM that I built. I do want to mention, before we get into any more of this video, I purchased this JetKVM with my own money. This video is in no way motivated from the makers of JetKVM. They had no say in this. They didn't even send me one after they said they would. So I'm really not thrilled with JetKVM, as well as the fact that it took 3 months to get this. I understand it was a Kickstarter, but it wasn't like I got it in the beginning of the Kickstarter. I started this in February, after they were already well through shipping and established. So I was really not thrilled that it took over 3 months to get this. But we'll talk more of that going into the video. Let's get into the video, and we're going to look at the JetKVM website and get some more detail on this. So like I said, we're over here at the JetKVM site. It's as they claim, a next generation open source KVM over IP for $69. And it is. If you go into their Kickstarter, you can purchase one for $69. However, if you are in the US, based on the current tariff situation, it looks like they are pausing shipping to the United States, and you could queue up for $1 to get back into the shipping queue when it's available. They have their documentation, which goes into detail about how the hardware and the software works. Pretty much just works as a standard KVM. You're just going to plug it in, and then you're going to have access across. They do have extension ports. It's an RJ11 port, and through this extension port, you can connect different boards, such as their ATX power control. So if you do have a server running, you connect this breakout board to it, and then you could have ATX power controls for your server, the PC, whatever it might be doing. So if you do need to remotely power cycle it, you can through this, or if it's off and you need to turn it on, you can turn it back on. There's a DC power control. This assists in power management to remote devices, they say, as mini PCs or NASs. And then there's another one to get a serial connection across from the JetKVM to the system you're working with. So if you are working on some older hardware, it might not have the standard console connection, and you might need a serial console connection. And with the JetKVM and the extension for it, it is possible. We can keep reading through the doc, but it's all pretty much straightforward. There is local access through it, as well as remote access through their cloud service. I believe it goes through Google. The last I checked, I believe it goes through Google. I believe that you have a Google account and you can sign in, and then from there you can go check it out. Before we go a little more into it, I just want to show you what it looks like. So over here on the front, there we go. So over here on the front now, it's not getting blinded by my light. You can see it kind of resembles a Apple Watch like front face. Sorry, it might be a little fuzzy, but I'm just trying to get it as best as I can. On the side, it's just standard. It has important for airflow. On the back, we have our RJ11, our RJ45, our thin HDMI or mini HDMI, I'm not sure which one it is, and then there's USB-C, which is used to connect to power. So the RJ45 is how you're going to connect it to your network. The USB-C is going to how it's going to connect to power from the machine that you're working with, and then the HDMI is how you're going to connect it. Again, on the side just replicates, and then on the top it just has the JetKVM. It is a very nice product. I think it was designed very well. It does have some weight to it, so you can tell it actually feels like it's metal and whatever components are inside. Screen is nice. It is also a touch screen, so you can mess around with it if you need to. If you have it like rack mounted, you could cycle through some of the info that might be on there. I'm going to get this connected up to one of my mini PCs, and we're going to take a look at how this could work. So I just connected my JetKVM over to my Minilab server, and you can see over here in the top right, we can see that the JetKVM device is connected. It also can see that the USB is connected, and the device can tell if HDMI isn't connected, if Ethernet isn't connected, however it might work, and it'll tell you so you know if something's wrong. On the physical JetKVM to connect, it's going to show you an IP. You can just go over to a browser and type that IP in. It'll bring you over there. When it first connects, it's going to ask if you want to set up a password or just have it to be unauthenticated. You can adjust that later on by going to settings and then access, and you can change it so you could have a password or not. They also have their cloud that they're using right now. If you are interested, we can come over here, and it's going to go into more detail about that page that we were looking at before. Personally, I'm not going to use this at this time, but if you are interested, you can check it out. We have other options in here, such as some advanced, so you can go into some different modes for developer or troubleshooting. There's appearance, so we can change this over to a dark mode, which is ideal. We can mess with our hardware a little bit if you're interested. I'm going to leave all this default because I really don't want to mess anything up just yet. And then over here we can check for updates, and we can apply updates over the network. So you can see over here mine's up to date right now, so it must have updated because when I was testing with it, it wasn't. So it must have auto updated, and then it looks like it did because it's checked off. Over here in the top right, we can go through and you can see that it says it's connected, and it also can tell that the USB is connected. So the device is able to tell if HDMI, Ethernet, or whatever isn't connected, and it'll prompt you saying so. We have a virtual keyboard that we could pop out to use to type into our system. So you can see over here that I am typing. You can send wake on LAN packets if configured on your devices. You can set up a device and then you could wake it up on LAN over there. It does have a virtual media function, so if you do want to upload ISOs to install ISOs onto machines, or maybe you need to push DVDs or something through, you can through this. And then also it could paste text. So if I do want to type in maybe my username, you can see over here it just pushed it through, and I'll do it again just to display it again now with no erroneous text. We'll just put that through, and you can see over here it passed it through. So if you are in some prompts and maybe you can't type, you can pass through text through this tool. We have some connection stats where we can see info about our KVM connection. If you do have any of the extension tools, you can connect those in right there and use them. And then we talked about settings, and other than that, you could have a full screen option of your KVM. Just to show how it can work, I'm actually already signed in, so if I want to work on my server like I was mentioning, maybe my SSH connection's failing, maybe the web UI isn't coming up, I can connect my JetKVM, and over here I can start running some commands. So you can see I just did some stuff to do the disk. I ran LSBLK to see the disk. I can see my uptime. You know, I could do some basic work through here. I don't have a system currently that I could work to push an OS to or anything like that, but it is something that's possible, and I have seen it in many other creators' videos. And I'm hoping that on some upcoming projects, we're going to be building some systems, and I think the JetKVM is going to be something that we're going to incorporate into all of it. I believe this is pretty much everything to see in the actual UI that's going to be used for the JetKVM, and it is a very powerful tool. As you can see, I have full access to do pretty much whatever I want on this machine that I'm connected to. So that's the JetKVM. So now I'm just going to run through some of my thoughts on this JetKVM after my initial experience with it. So it is a very cool tool. I do have to say that I like its ease of use, its functionality, and everything else a lot more than my PiKVM that I built. Of course, I do enjoy my PiKVM because I had the part of building it, finding all the parts and everything like that. But I also had to build it, find all the parts, get the OS to work, and troubleshoot all my issues. It did take a while for the PiKVM to be fully operational, where the JetKVM worked straight out of the box. I didn't have to buy any extra parts. I was just able to plug it right into the host and start working with it. Also, the price difference between everything that I probably paid for the PiKVM compared to the JetKVM was cheaper even with the $20 shipping that it took to get. The JetKVM in total costed me about $90, I want to say. It was $69 for the device, $20 for shipping, probably all said and done, I'm going to say probably 95 US dollars. My Pi KVM probably costed me over $100 and some because I had to get a Pi 4, I had to get all the adapters, I 3D printed a case. I went overboard with it, but all the pieces, all in all, definitely did cost more than the purchase of the JetKVM. The JetKVM has a really nice web UI. It functions. We just went through it. It looks very nice and it works. It's very user friendly and you could click through and get going what you need to do. The downfalls of the JetKVM, and I understand it's a Kickstarter, but it's still an issue in my eyes, is that it shouldn't have taken 3 months for me to receive it. I didn't join the Kickstarter in the beginning. I didn't join it before the product was already finished. It was already being shipped, and it took me quite a long time to get it. I do like that the functionality of this device, it works. Like I said, I plug it in, it works. If I need to get into a system, it's late at night, one of my servers go down, if I plug this in, I bet it's going to work a lot easier every time than my Pi KVM will. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to use either one of them going forward, because I probably will rotate through. I only have one JetKVM, and it can only control one machine in the function that I have it. I do believe people are finding ways to incorporate network KVM switches and something similar to be able to break this out to connect to multiple hosts in your rack, so you could do a little multi-host connection and be able to work on everything at once, or rotate through your different servers or machines. I'm going to continue to test with this product, and like I said, as I work on some new systems, I think coming up in some new videos, we're going to be using this again, so make sure you keep an eye out, because you're going to see this product again when we're making some new systems. I think that's everything I have to say about the JetKVM. I don't want to continue to ramble on. So as always, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll have links down to all the gear in my Homelab below. I'll have a link to the JetKVM if you're interested in checking it out for yourself. I'll have a link to the Discord server if you want to join up. As always, I want to thank you all for watching. As my buddy Don would say, hack till it hurts.